First of all, who I am, what I do, not that important, of course, but the picture in the background might be. Why? Because this is resembling to the picture I just took. And it's quite important. Why is it? Because the people that you see in the back are the people that in fact are the group of key users we worked together with. By taking such a picture, putting them on stage together, involving them, telling them about my daughter, made it okay. Let's say it facilitated the project in a large way. I like quotes, just like Ori was that. Anybody, any idea? The name, the person of the quotes? There is one of Einstein. But the last one, this is the one that I really like. Being optimistic. So if you move in the positive, your destination is the brightest star. It's a part of a song text. Somebody should know who's the singer. Nobody? Stevie Wonder. Okay, one last thing about my daughter. That's a quote she made. So, in fact, what you do is you help companies and also people to grow and to get them, let's say, future-proof. So the project was about getting the company Balex also future-proof. Very short about the company I work for, which is Joris Ide. And they have a division which is Balex Metal. Founded a long time ago, 85. What they do is, they have building materials, metal constructions, and maybe important to know, a global presence and part of the Kingspan group, which is like globally more than 25,000 employees they have. Okay, that's the tagline they use. So the one-stop shop for building, but also upgrading your house, not only the house, but also industrial buildings, agricultural buildings, and of course, residential. Situation, so Kingspan, quite a large group, 25,000 employees. There is a part, Joris Ide, one division, which I am part of. And in our division, we have different companies, including Balex Metal, which is in fact Baltic state related countries, quite big, that cover everything what you see in the red zone, quite some countries. So in general, facts and figures. I use a lot of slides. I will not, be a long time on certain ones, but in the handouts, you can see and you can refer to it. So just to give you an idea, this is what we do. We don't play rugby, but we make the constructions. Starting, question. When was SAP born? What? Somebody should know. Come on. 1st of April, and it's not a joke, in 72, quite some time ago. So what's wrong with 2008? 2008 was start of SAP in the company I work for. January, and what was it? It was an implementation. They called it, it's a limited scope. We have a limited time. Seemed to be like 3 company codes that we had to do in 6 months, which was quite a challenge. And the reason, of course, like always, it was about the money and about the shareholders or private equity going to buy or that bought like 50% almost of the company. My boss, big boss, really big boss, because he's like 2 meters. He said, never change a winning team, doesn't matter. Never change a winning template. What about the templates? We use an SAP template that we have along the way since 2008 been changing, adapting bit by bit based on the location or the company that we are implementing. About the template, okay, starting from an SAP standard 2008, this was not the version that SAP is into now. Currently, we're on S4. But what we did is by doing like every expansion, every new country, every localization, and bits and pieces, building new processes, optimizing, expanding, and so on and so forth, but sticking as much as possible to the SAP standard, not changing a lot. Of course, since we have some specific things, we do some custom development, but we try to minimalize as much as possible. Strength of the concept or the template is that, there is a full integration of every flow, of course. The biggest advantage, I think, is the fact that the master data is the single source of truth. We don't work in each country with a different kind of master data, since we all have similar products that we create. Steel is steel, the process going from a steel coil to a panel or a plate or whatsoever, it's quite similar in Belgium as it is in France or in Poland. So processes are the same. And for all the systems that are attached to our SAP system, there is no duplication needed whatsoever. Master data, okay, major strength, but also major weakness, because if the master data is not good, it's not good in any part of the whole division. Okay, so the templates, I don't have to explain SAP, of course, how it works. So we have our SAP template, which we call it, Joris Ide template that has been adapted. And of course, for each rollout, what we do is we configure, we customize, we do the localization, the legal compliance, set up all the requirements, and last part, based on the FinCap that we do, is that we customize a little bit more by developing or integrating the requests that are coming from the local party, the local country, the local users. Okay, good. What is the benefit on the template? Of course, it's a consistent template that is used all over the division, which means that it's unified. We do it for reporting purposes and other things. Cost efficient, and time again. It's easier to maintain. It's faster to implement, of course. We are reducing risks. And the knowledge that we have, it's easy to create training material that you have already for another country. And put it in Google Translate and have new training material suitable for the country that you're implementing. Of course, there is a downside. We once started in Belgium, and then we started in Europe, Belgium, France, the Netherlands. So the countries that are close to Belgium. So we started implementing, which was pretty easy. But the moment that we went more up to the Baltic, for example, there you get, of course, a total different situation where the culture, the people are different, how they think, how they act, and how they are resistant to change, especially when somebody from Belgium is coming to tell them what to implement, how to implement, what to use, and how to do it. Nah, it doesn't work that way, not always. Okay, the data I talked about. In the case of the Poland implementation, the one that is over there, meaning over customizing, is a risk. It's a fact. If a company is using their own system, in the case of Balex, which was AX Dynamics, and they are using it for 10, 15, maybe longer years, and they customize their system up to every bit, every color, every word, everything for each person, and then you come with a massive SAP system that is replacing everything, I can assure that it's not that easy. Okay, about the template, what we did, the division. I don't know how fast you can count the numbers at the right side, but these are in fact the rollouts that we have done, okay, since we have started with SAP in Joris Ide. So in total, it's about 30, a little bit more than 30 rollouts that we accomplished. Okay, why did we do the project? What were the objectives? What was the scope? First of all, strategically, that is a company that in full growth in the Balex region. And they are using a kind of spoke model with hubs, that they would be prepared for doing acquisitions, putting other countries, other locations, and not only companies and locations, but also other companies that they would, they merge or that would join the group. On the other hand, on the other side, a lot of efficiency, effectiveness for the whole division. That contain, for example, the things that you see there. So I think cost was a very important one. Share the cost, but also share the benefits. And then, efficiency and communication. Since you saw the whole map, since you have like many countries involved, since you have a big area involved, it's good to have not only a hierarchical, but also like, let's say, a divisional and a lateral communication model that is the same over all the countries. You need a lot of IT teams, but communication overall IT teams should be managed and should be streamlined, let's say, in order to make it as good as possible. Second part, and I think this was an important one, especially based on the Kingspan overall group policy. There is a real need for real-time data reporting and have a view on everything that is happening in order to get faster possibilities to change the strategy and to come to the best solutions at that time. Proactive management. And I think maybe this one is even the most, let's say, the most enabling, the most enhancer, or the point that speeded up things, and that is the fact that their AX system was really like end of life, so perfect opportunity to change to SAP. Okay, functional scope, 2 parts. The regular thing is all the modules we all know, and secondly, some other business areas that need to be covered, and that were like business intelligence, but also shop floor integration, MII, MES, CRM, which is now the SAP C4C system. We did implement also Solution Manager that's being used all over the division in order to do IT service management, and then an e-commerce and a portal platform, which is names change at SAP. It's now called Commerce Cloud. Geographically, 5 countries and 2 to come. So meanwhile, there was an acquisition of 2 additional companies in Estonia and Finland with a lot of spokes over there. 20 locations spread over the 5 countries for now, and more than 650 users. How do you do it? You have to think big, but you have to start small. So this was the initial timeline that we had, or that we had to follow, which you see all of the countries for implementation of SAP, and 1 separate track to implement the C4C or the CRM situation. you see 3 years of time, which is, okay, let's say challenging, especially in a foreign country far away from where you used to work. And I will go very quickly. These are the changes that happened along the way, meaning we stopped, we put things on hold, we shifted from sequence still. And why was that? Okay, I think COVID was one of them. The Russian invasion in Ukraine was another one. Business going down was another one. Opportunities because they bought new companies was another one. Resources was another one. Change management was another one. And I can continue like that. In the end, this is the situation that we are now in. So you see the two parts, the upper parts, which is for now Lithuania and Czech Republic that we are implementing. And for the rest, we covered, let's say, everything along the way and by extending the timeline a little bit. One part is not done, integration. Why? We didn't have an SAP system available, so we implemented C4C, but we could not integrate it. Okay, conclusion. Yeah, template. Everything I mentioned, the benefits, of course, and the challenges. But coming to the last part is, okay, we definitely needed and had a lot of help with a local partner, which is, okay, LeverX. Why LeverX? Why did we choose them? Of course, the SAP knowledge. I heard this morning the local availability and the global presence, but indeed. A long-term partnership, why? As I've mentioned already before, yeah, it's not just one country. We are like keeping on implementing new ones. It's like a never-ending story. But especially with regard to the knowledge they have on certain domains, which for us was really new, implementing Belgium, Netherlands, and so on and so forth. We never came across specific things like software and other similar needs for those countries over there. Okay, after 1 year, okay, meanwhile it's a few years, we did an evaluation and we came to definitely a professional organization. They are great in communication, a lot of trust. They are very integrity, flexible. They are committed, and they are even fun to work with. And this is the timeline, but the simplified version. And the parts where you see that LeverX is helping us out, or where they helped us out, which is quite a lot. Based on the template I explained, you see the part over there. This is what they do. This is their responsibility. The consultants from their part are working specifically on this. Okay, some key success factors. I'm trying to speed up a little bit, but again, our handouts or the presentation will be available. And in the presentation, you will see some additional comments that might be useful. I'll pick one out that, for me was, of course, a very important one. And that was the change management topic. It was really hard to try to get people from an organization far away with another culture, to change their way of thinking, and also to convince them what, let's say, the advantages would be of having an SAP system implemented. We're still struggling, to be honest, but okay, it's coming. Another one, key success factors, is that it's good to have a person on site, or a team on site, or a management on site that is supporting you and the project. In the case of the implementation, there was not really, let's say, a change manager, local one. There was not a project manager, local one, which, resulted in fact that the Belgian project manager, being myself, was in Poland for quite some time. 80% of the time spent was in Poland. Okay, lessons learned. Yeah, language, communication, important, of course. You can imagine there is, or there are some difficulties, since the people in Poland, they speak Polish, very good. My Polish is not that good. English was not always an option, and if you have key users that support the organization over there, okay, they don't need the English, but when they need support and they come to us, then English is a must, of course. So that was sometimes hard. Local project management, as mentioned, quite important, not only project, but also change management. And if we, then go to the lessons learned, or how to do it and how we are currently doing it for the other countries. Yeah, okay, you see some of the topics that I wanted to explain. Let's carry on. Change management, or resistance to change, of course. And the right part is, we used Teams a lot in order to reduce the travel and the travel cost. But working with teams, it's still something different. It's not as optimal as being on site. Anybody ever worked for a Japanese company? Okay, so I think the left picture, is indeed something. I worked for Daikin, so I know what it is. It's a different culture. The people are different. They require you to drink vodka while you're working. So, and the right part is where it was, on the slides, of course. Shift from the one country to the other, shift from the one type of consultant to the other, localizations, and so on and so forth, extra developments. So, we lost quite some time based on these external factors. But still, it's good that you can never anticipate everything, but you can try to build as much buffer as possible, and set up a kind of risk management plan upfront. Okay, about the journey, almost there. It would be kind of strange to say that it was not a successful implementation. Okay, let's call it successful, still challenging. So what we did, the achievements, I think an important one is the cost reduction. And by doing everything that we did, there were a lot of new insights gathered where we didn't run into earlier in the earlier implementations. I think the part of the change and the culture and the people locally get them involved was, for me, I think, one of the most important ones, and a very good takeaway for future implementations. Again, implementing a country next to the country where you live, it's a different ballgame than implementing in a faraway country where you don't speak the language, where you don't know the culture. So this for me was very important. Also the reason why we have the local partner, LeverX, not only for the technical part, for the implementation part, SAP, but really like for the understanding and for the translation between the country implementing and let's say our implementation team, IT team, for better understanding. So looking ahead, also very important to take away is that you can train key users, but what we sometimes forget is that key users do not always represent an end user, and in the end, it's the end user that is doing and using the SAP system. So I think user training should not only be focused on key users, but really much more on end users. There is somebody of Balex in the room, so I see, yes, might be. Okay, so this was as fast as possible. Okay, thank you very much.
Great job.